17. Yes.
Still, the manifest on the oath.
Yes, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Brigadier, just before the long adjournment, I had referred you to photo 47 depicting persons, and in the background, a person wearing a cap. And the proposition that I put to you was that accused number 2 instructed me and will tell this court that you had told him that the person in the cap, it's him.
But that, as I said, my lord, that's misleading. That's not true. I did not have access to this photo on the 16th or 17th of June. And I didn't see accused 2 on the 17th of June 2020, my lords.
Lokho-ke ukuthi-ke ngathi-ke nakumhlalo wesibili uyena loyana uzoba-ke akhuluma iqiniso enkantolo, futhi-ke isithombe lesi nge-16 ne-17 sikaJune ngangingenaso, futhi-ke angizange ngimbone umsola ngalezo insuku lezo noma ngazo i-17.
Now, in this evidence in chief, Constable Zungu, on the 7th of September 2023, and that will be found, like I said, from page 10, 11, and up to the beginning of page 11. He also, when he was shown this picture and had to comment on it by my learned colleague, Advocate Baloi, he said that the person wearing a cap is Mafika. And he said by Mafika, it's accused number 2's nickname.
My lord, I'm aware that Mafika is associated, the name Mafika is associated with accused 2. But the person with the cap, like I said, my lord, I did not have access to it in June. But even when I had access to this album in later in August 2020, this picture was not shown to accuse 2 because we're done. We're past with the issues of engaging that took place on the 18th of June 2020. So I've never, the only form of a picture that I've shown him is the identikit that was displayed before court, my lord, and that was the 18th of June 2020. That is how far I went. I went insofar as showing accused 2 anything that or that resembles a picture. Other than that, my lord, it was confessions on the way, and we're done basically with engagements insofar as the investigation is concerned with him directly.
Ngiyazi ukuthi-ke igama uMafika kuhlanganiswa naye umsolo wesibili, futhi-ke nangenkathi sengithola-ke i-album lena ngo-August ka-2020 angaze-ke ngimkhombise noma ngimtshengise lesi sithombe-ke, futhi ngaleso sikhathi-ke ngasengiqedile-ke kwaku ama-confessions-ke ase ethathwa ngaleso sikhathi leso.
And up to today, my lord, sitting here, standing here in court, I can't say that the person with the cap is accused 2. I can't see that person. So this picture did not play any significant role insofar as the investigation is concerned, even when I received these downloads, my lord.
Futhi-ke nanjengoba ngimila angikwazi-ke ukuthi ngisho ukuthi loya muntu-ke ugqoke ikepusi uyena umsola wesibili-ke, angimazi loya muntu loyana, kuze kube manje-ke phenyo lolu-ke isithombe lesi-ke akukho esikudlalile noma-ke obekumqoka ngaso kuphenyo.
And when I say role, my lord, I'm referring insofar as accused 2, which is a different story with accused 3 insofar as the person holding a can on the right hand side. And I think I dealt with this in evidence in chief. But insofar as accused 2, there's no role that this picture played my role in my investigation. I'm talking about me now.
Ngikhuluma-ke ngomsolo wesibili-ke, kodwa-ke kuyehluka-ke uma ukhuluma-ke ngomuntu-ke ophethe-ke ithini kwisandla sabo sokudla umsolo wesithathu. Ngikhuluma ngami-ke manje noma uphenyo lwami.
During your consultations with Constable Zungu, was this picture shared and shown to Constable Zungu?
I will not recall, my lord. One will have to go through his statements. I don't recall, my lord.
Kuzofanele-ke ngiyobheka istatement sakhe uZungu ukubheka ukuthi ngakhuluma yini naye noma ngamtshengisa yini lesi sithombe, angikhumbuli.
When I cross-examined Constable Zungu regarding this picture, and his assertion that the person in the background with a cap and blue clothing was accused number 2. He then changed text to say that he's now not sure that this is accused number 2, and later on said that in fact he did discuss this picture with you, and I think Sergeant Mohani was present when he was compiling his statement, because in his statements, amongst other things, he refers to photograph numbers when he identifies the people, and I was quite shocked that how can a witness who says he's independent, he shows photographs and identifies people by photographs, because that should be done from his memory of the incident if his memory is not fabricated.
No. Look, my lord, I do know that we engage with him insofar as the photo album is concerned, but like I said, I can't say for the fact or dispute as to what whether this photo is covered in Constable Zungu's statement. I can't. I'm not saying it's not. If he says, if himself he says it is, I've got no reason to doubt his evidence, my lord.
Uma sikhuluma naye ke nanjengoba ushoka ukuthi wathi ke lesi sithombe lesi kwakuyiminaka nomukhanye sakhombisa sona ke uma kuyinto ayishoyo ke leyo angeke ngiphikisane ke nayo ke, kodwa ngiyazi ukuthi nje ialbum yona ke sahlala ke phansi sikhuluma noma simkhombisa yona.
Now, just to clarify one point, Colonel, the ID kit that you requested Mr. Come now in East London, not the G, Exhibit J, the one that I introduced, where the control image used was the identity document of accused number 2. When in her statement she says you requested her to make an alteration on an image, and you said something else regarding the use of the word alteration.
No, I said exactly what she's saying, but what I was the part that I was explaining, my lord, is that because that's how I understood the proposition being made to me, that it sounded as if I made a request to Warrant Officer Steenkamp to do alterations in the original identity kit, and I was simply explaining that the original identity kit that was composed or drawn on the 29th of October 2014 remained original. There was no request for her to work on that. It's only the soft copy of the ID copy that was found, the identity document that was found in possession of accused 2 when he was arrested, that she was asked to add the dreadlocks as per the identification of Mr. Makaleni and the hoodie, to see if that alterations, those additions, will match the identity kit that was drawn on the 29th of October 2014. So that's what I was saying, that the alteration or the work that she did was not insofar as the original drawing, it was insofar as the picture that was sent to her, because in that picture accused 2 does not have a hoodie, does not have anything that resembles dress lock. It's just a picture of an ID. So we ask her to say, if you put these things, can you then try and match and tell us if this is one and the same person? That was the purpose of the exercise, my lord.
Uma ke ngimcela ke uyena ke Warrant Officer Steenkamp kwakuyekona ke ukuthi akashintshe umdwebo wana ke woqala noma ke identity. Manje ke sekutholakele isithombe ke lesi se-ID ke nomsolo wesibili, kwakuwukuthi ke manje lapho akanama akafakanga hoodie akafaka akanawo futhi nama dreadlocks, ukuthi ke manje ase uma efake lokho ke ihoodie kanye nama dreadlocks kube abeseqhathanisa ke nale identity eseyikhona, abheke ukuthi yini angayithola.
And now let us go to the particular identity kit where the control image used was the ID. I've requested my learned colleague to download it for us so that it can be beamed. So I request that it be beamed, and then I can take you through that.
Okay.
Just go to the photos. Let's go to Yeah, thank you. Now, this is the ultimate Photoshop Adobe that was used by Warrant Officer Steenkamp. And as I was reading and taking you through before it was beamed, on the left, will you agree with me that it's the same picture that forms part of Exhibit BB depicting the sketch of the person on the left in Exhibit BB?
Yes, I'll agree with you, my lord.
Yebo ke left isketch ke lesiyana sikuyena exhibit BB noma ke umdwebo lo identified le yenziwa.
And in the middle, it's the extract from the actual ID document of accused number 2.
Correct, my lord.
Bese kuthi maphakathi nendawo ke isona ke isithombe lesiya samazisi wakhe umsolo wesibini.
And then finally on the right will be, I believe, Warrant Officer Steenkamp will come and testify about that. That is now the Photoshop of the middle picture, superimposing the ID with the hoodie and the dreadlocks hairstyle, although the dreadlocks are not quite visibly clear on the picture on the right.
Yes, that's the report she gave me. I agree, my lord.
Bese kuthi ke kusandla sokudla ke ilesithombe ke sayo ke ID bese kufakelwe nayo ke ihoodie kodwa ke ama dreadlocks wona awabonakala. Yebo ubona umbiko anginikeza wona loyo.
Now, as a lead investigator who relied on Makalene's statement, who introduced the second intruder or suspect B, wearing dreadlocks, having a golden insert on his tooth. Remember, I asked you a question when you were looking at Exhibit BB, and in particular the picture on the left here and the sketch on the left in Exhibit BB. You were giving pointers to see what can you see and describe protruding on the left and right hand side of that picture. Remember that question?
I do remember, my lord.
Ngiyakhumbula ke kuthiwa ke angikhombe ke la kulesi ke isithombe ukuthi ke la emaceleni ke kuveleni noma yini ebonakalayo.
Now, with the benefit of your request to Mrs. Steenkamp and the statement that you relied on of Makaleni regarding the photo on the left, although it's not that clear as in BB, can you then describe what you observe on the left and right hand side of the features in the first photograph? Maybe you can go to BB because it's much clearer than this.
What I observe?
Yes, this here.
On the sides?
On the sides, yes.
I can't see clearly, my lord. I mean,
Yes,
I can look.
as I say,
Yeah,
perhaps if you go to BB and Mr. Siwanda, please assist me in what you can see.
Yeah, I can't see clearly.
Yeah.
But what is prudent to mention here, my lord, this exercise was not for me to make finding. It
Yeah,
was
sure.
to get the expertise of the expert to say what is her finding. That was the essence of this exercise.
Kulokhu kwakungasimina ke ukuthi ke ngitholani ke kodwa kulona owungoti noma ke onolwazi ke lana ukuthi ke yini yena ayitholayo.
Yes, here your observation, the photo on the left, and to my question, what do you observe?
I do, well, I see the similarities with the previous photo, my lord, and I suppose what appears to be the darkish stripes on the left hand side, just below, just next to the cheeks, left and right hand side. I don't know, but
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
where the question is going. Yes.
Ngiyabona ke lesi sithombe ke nalesi esindlulileke nalokhu ke ekusemaceleni ke kuma kuyinhlangothi zombili.
And you said, what did you observe? Sorry, I missed that, Brigadier. I missed that.
Which part?
The one that you had just described now, what you see on the left and right
Well,
hand side of
I'm saying the similarities of this picture on the left hand side. I mean, this picture on the left hand side is similar to the one that we just saw, where there's 3 pictures of the same person. But here it's clearer that on both left and right hand side, there's sort of like blackish marks, if I can call it, which it was put to me, my lord, that is like dreadlocks protruding on the left and right hand side. So that's what I can see.
Engikubonayo ke la ukuthi lesi sithombe ke nalesi-ke esindlulile la bekunomuntu oyedwa-ke kodwa kuyithombe ey'ntathu, kodwa-ke lana-ke kunalokhu-ke okumnyama noma-ke ama-marks abonakalayo ku-left nangako-right. Lokhu obekushiwa-ke kumina ukuthi ama-dreadlocks, ngoba kubukeka ama-dreadlocks.
And with people in the house having not described the second intruder or suspect B to Mrs. Steenkamp, what was the purpose now of you requesting her to do that alteration with the superimposed identity document?
Yeah, so my lord, I think we dealt with this part, and we can go through the statement of each and every person that was in the house. I did indicate that as much as Mrs. Steenkamp said they did not, Warrant Officer Steenkamp to be precise, did not mention the contribution which was attributed by the people who were in the house. If you look at their statements, the statements of the people who were in the house, they do give a description of the second suspect in terms of being skinny, tall. That is there. I went through that exercise now during last time because you said we must check as to even if anyone from the neighbors described seeing people running out of the house.
We'll come to that. Finish this one.
Yes, yeah, I'm finishing. I'm not going there. I just want to give you the context that in that process, then I had the opportunity to go through the statements as I was doing that exercise of the people who were in the house. They do give a description of the second suspect, my lord, in terms of being skinny and tall, and we can go through each and every one of those people who are in the house. There is the description. It's just that Warrant Officer Steenkamp, in her summary, she puts Makaleni insofar as the identification of the second suspect, but the people in the house. In fact, my lord, I also saw the statement of Zandi, who says in that statement, her initial statement, she can identify the second intruder specifically. She's very specific, and we can refer the court to the paragraph where she says this.
Manje-ke njengoba-ke abantu laba ababesendlini-ke kunekho-ke abakusho-ke noma-ke abamchazanga-ke lo owesibili umsola kuyena-ke uSteenkamp, kwakuyini-ke inhloso noma injongo yalokhu. Ngibhekile-ke nanjengoba bukushilo-ke ukuthi angibheke noma ngibuke iy'tatimende-ke zalaba ababesendlini-ke bayachaza-ke noma-ke bengashonga-ke noma-ke bengungabhalwanga-ke kuyena i-Warrant Officer Steenkamp, kodwa kuyitatimende zabo noZandi futhi ngisibhekile istatimende sakhe la ashoyo-ke khona ukuthi lo owesibili umsola ngingamkhomba yena-ke bayamchaza lapho ukuthi-ke kwakumuntu nje onomzimba omncane futhi-ke emude.
So to be more precise, my lord, 813 of the disclosure, the discovery that we made, is a statement of Zandi Khumalo. And paragraph 11, it's where she says, she describes the second intruder and she says she can be able to identify this person if she sees her again. It's paragraph 11, and the statement is 813 in the docket.
Kuyitatimende-ke eyikhona-ke bona bameli kusona kulona idokota u-813 uparagraph 11 ila ashoyo-ke khona-ke ukuzandi ukuthi-ke angamkhomba.
And that statement of Ms. Khumalo that you referred to, 813, was made on the 27th of October 2014, correct?
I am not sure about the date, my lord. One will have to. Let me just get to it now, my lord, because the docket is
Angisekanga-ke ngedate ukuthi senziwa nge-27 October 2014.
Yes, 27 October 2014. That is correct, my lord. At 1400 hours.
Nge-27 October 2014 isikhathi ngo-2 1400.
And the ID parade, I mean the ID kit compilation, do you know when that happened?
29, it was the 29th of October. That's my understanding. 29th of October 2014.
I-ID kit yona-ke yenziwa nge-29 October 2014.
So a day apart from making her contemporaneous statement whilst the events are still fresh in her mind, a day later, having said in her statement, I can identify the second person, she sits with the sketch artist, yet she cannot even give the barest of descriptions.
I think my lord, in fairness to Miss Zandi, that is a terrain that can be, I think, embarked on between with her and Miss and Warrant Officer Steenkamp, because I was not there.
Wenze istatement sakhe ke nge-27 la ashoyo ke 27 October 2014 uyasho ukuthi angamkhomba, kodwa ke nge-29 ke makwenziwa ke le sketch akakwazi ke nokuthi amchazeke lapho kuyena Warrant Officer Steenkamp. Cabanga ukuthi lokho ke ngoba ke ngangekho mina lapho yinto ke leyo engakhulunywa naye ke uZandi kanye naye Warrant Officer Steenkamp.
Because subsequent to this statement, my lord, in other statement that she made, there is nowhere where she had said she has now changed her mind and she can't identify the person.
Ngoba ke emuva kwaleso statement la ashoyo khona ukuthi angamkhomba, asikho ke istatement ajikileke noma ashintshile kusona ukuthi cha manje sengishintsha umkhondo angeke ngikwazi ukuthi ngimkhombe.
Just bear with me. I want to see the evidence of Ms. Khumalo on the 19th of July 2023.
Yes.
What she testified about, and it's encapsulated at page 34. It's not a long thing that I'm going to read. Ms. Khumalo says, and it's at line 23, page 34. On the second one, I then mentioned that he was tall, he had a beard, and I added his complexion. And Master Waloi asked, what was the complexion? She says, he was not light in complexion, he was not dark. That is the evidence in this court. Even this evidence, but like we say, the terrain that I'll argue, it's a generic and a vague description by her. There are no facial identifying features except to state that he's got a beard, he's tall, he was wearing a hoodie, and he was dark, not dark. There are no unique identifying descriptors given by Zandile in her testimony, but that's not for you to answer. I'll argue that point.
Agreed, my lord.
Now, the witnesses that were in the house, now we are at the scene. They describe how this incident happened, that two intruders come in, the one in front is short, is dark, he's got shiny skin, dots on his face, high cheekbones, dark in complexion, dreadlocks reaching up to the neck level. And I'm doing this deliberately because as they were testifying, they were gesturing by doing this, some of them. And that one is the first one to enter. He is in possession of a firearm. He then demands a second suspect who is much taller than the first one that entered, and they give that generic description that I've just given you.
Correct, my lord.
He was tall, wearing a hoodie, he was dark.
That's correct, my lord.
But what I really want to lead to, that evidence is on record. What is pivotal is that they state that Longwetwala at some stage, after the demand for cell phones and money is made, stands up, confronts the one with the firearm, that is the short one in dreadlocks, pushes him away, and then runs out of the house.
That is correct. I do have a recollection of that, my lord.
Ngiyakhumbula ke lokho ukuthi ke basho ke noma ke bashiwo ke ukuthi ke sebengenile ke laba babili ke bebachazile ke ulongo wasesukuma eyakulona ke umfishane ophethe isibhamu wamphushela ke eceleni wabe seyaphuma.
Now I don't want, like I said, to belabor that evidence. It's of record. What I want to know is that, is there a statement or evidence that you are aware of to the effect that when Longwe ran outside, he saw the other perpetrators, that would be the lookouts at the window outside at the yard. Is there a statement to that effect?
No, there isn't.
Engifisa ke ukuthi ngikwazi kwena ngaba sikhona yini statement esishoyo ukuthi esephumileke uLongwe ngaphandle wahlangana ke nabanye laba ababemi phandle ke endlini bona bebhekileke cha asikho.
Now let's go to the point that you said you're going to we're going to verify. Are there statements of witnesses that says we saw people after the first shot or second shot or third shot, whatever shot, run out of Makumalo's household into the street and going whatever direction that they were going? Is there such a statement?
So yes, my lord. So the first one that, well, the docket is voluminous. I think the court can see. So I've not exhausted all the searching, but the first one that I could come across that says that exactly is the one of Makaleni. That is A11.
Yes.
And in paragraph 3, he says specifically that he saw 3 black men running away from Kumalo's house. Specifically, he specifies that, and it's A11 in the docket, and that is in paragraph 3.
Engisitholileke istatement ke ilesi ke sakhe uMakeleni esishoyo ukuthi wabona ke abalisa bathathu bephuma ke kwamakhumalo bebaleka,
and he says one was armed with a firearm. That's how far he takes it, my lord.
Kuthi ke oyedwa kubona ke wayenesibhamu.
Okay, and then that one was armed with a firearm. In compilation of this identity kit with Warrant Officer Stenkam, she says that firearm, he says, or he places that firearm in the hands of the person that is depicted on the left of the picture, according to the descriptor given in the identity kit, correct?
I think let's go there, so that I don't say, is it A46?
It's I think it's A46.
Yes, A46.
Yeah. A46.
I've got it, my lord. I just want to read and make sure that we're on the same page.
I think when he says he was having something in his hand that looked like a firearm.
Yes, that is correct, my lord. It does say witness saw something in his hand that could have been a firearm. That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ke kubhaliwe ke la ufakazi wabona ke into esandleni sakhe okwakungaba yisibhamu.
Okay. Now you also testified that from, I think it's the reading of it, you will correct me because that's a bit fuzzy now in my mind. A statement of Longwetwala that he, after the shots were fired, or the first shot was fired, he then ran back into the house. Correct me if I'm wrong on that aspect.
No, I don't think I don't think we went that far insofar as Longwetwala is concerned.
Okay.
We when we dealt with Longwe, it was insofar as his description of the revolver.
No,
that's how far we went.
Uma besikhuluma ke ngoLongwe ke sikhulume la achaza khona noma asho khona isibhamu noma ke akhuluma ngerevolver.
No, I recall now. You said you were referring to either HH and JJ when you were speaking about collaboration. I don't know whether that word is collaboration or corroboration, but you said, according to one of those statements, HH and JJ, the accused number 2 says when he was running out after the first shot, another of the co-perpetrators then ran into the house.
Correct.
Yes.
Ngikushilo ukuthi inkathi ke umsolo wesibili ephuma ke yena emva kokuthi isibhamu siqhumile koqala omunye ke yena ke wangena ngaphakathi endlini.
Now, the evidence of Zandile Khumalo on that aspect, and that will be found at page 56 of the transcript of the 18th of July 2023, is to this effect. I'm not going to read that. I'm just going to paraphrase. Is that after the phone from her mother, now that is the S4 phone belonging to Kelly Khumalo, was taken by the intruder with a firearm, that will be the one with dreadlocks. She was in the bathroom and she was fearful that perhaps this intruder will come for me. So she peeped through the bathroom door and she saw that after he took the phone, he immediately left. And within seconds, she left the bathroom, the confines of the safety of the bathroom, went to where she saw Senzo running from the kitchen towards the corner of the dining room with Kelly and the mother at the corner, and nobody else came in thereafter.
My Lord, so I think the difficulty I'll have with with that evidence, I was not in court, so it will be really difficult because I don't know how the question was asked and answered. All I can say, my Lord, is that there is evidence in the confessions, or rather it is alleged in the confession of accused 2, that when I think the first shot and the second shot that hit the deceased, he ran out. It is contained there. It's not what I'm saying or assuming. And then he said, as he was running out, the one of his co-accused, and he mentions it, my Lord, it's also the accused 4, went in, and then he ran into the car where he joined accused 5, and later he was joined by the other accused. That's what he says, my Lord. So that assertion is coming from that angle, my Lord.
Uzandi Khumalo kubufakazi bakhe ke uthi ke wabaleka ke wayoqasha ke ebathroom walunguza ke khona ke wathatha ifoni kuma wakhe wasephuma ke yila khona ke yena ke aphuma khona ke ebathroom wabona ke uSenzo ebaleka ke akukho la asho khona ukuthi kunomuntu omunye owangena. Mina ke ngangekho enkantolo, angazi ukuthi umbuzo wabuzwa kanjani kuyena wasephendula kanjani, kodwa ke statement sakhe umsolo wesibili la agonyuluka khona ke uyena oshoyo ukuthi emuva ukuthi sibhamu siqhumeka koqala noma kwesibili ke la esashaya khona umufi yila aphuma khona yena ke omunye walapha ayahamba nabo ke wangena ngaphakathi umsolo wesine uyamusho yena uyamchaza wabe yena ke eseyongena emotweni la ahlangana khona ke nomsolo wesihlanu base nabanye bayeza.
So as a conclusion, I think that proposition needs to be put in its proper context. Mr. Ramusepili quotes the evidence of Ms. Zandi Khumalo saying from her vantage point in the bathroom where he could see towards the dining room, she did not see any person running into the house. But it should be specified that running towards the dining room could be that the person ran into the kitchen. The way that Mr. Ramusepili put it, my Lord, doesn't correctly depict the evidence of Ms. Khumalo.
As it pleases the court, my Lord, it's quite a simple and crisp answer. In one of her testimonies, Zandile Khumalo says, our kitchen is quite tiny, so you see everywhere. So
sorry, but she was emerging from a bathroom.
Yes, and
are you saying the bathroom is glassed or glazed? Because then I understood the evidence. The bathroom, she actually says, was between the basin and the toilet. And when you open, it opens towards the inside.
Yes.
Yeah, listen to the evidence.
Yes, but remember...
But then,
yes.
Does he say she could see the rest of the house, according to you?
Which door will the...
The bathroom door.
Which door
opens inside. It doesn't open outside.
Which door...
Hello?
Which door was used to enter the Khumalo household?
The kitchen door.
Yes.
And the kitchen door, when you enter the house, there are cupboards on the side. You've got to traverse that distance right up to the passage. and then you traverse the distance of the sitting room.
My Lord, that's an issue that I will canvass as well when we deal with these exhibits HH and JJs to see
Okay.
the inconsistencies, the contradictions vis-a-vis themselves and the other evidence that was led in this court by witnesses that were in the house.
The evidence that we have of Ms. Knowles, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, Mr. Ramsepil, on page 56,
Right?
on the 18th of July 2023, she says, sorry, then the gentleman with the dreadlocks took the phone and turned around. I did not know whether he was coming towards or coming to me, and then I went back into the toilet and it closed. And she then said, and then in no time I peeped through again and saw that it means that he did not, or he was not coming towards me, which means that he went out of the door. So, my Lord, in other words, she's saying her view was restricted to the corridor. That's her evidence.
Yeah, let's move on with it. Now, like I said, Brigadier, I've deliberately left the issue of the so-called confessional statements for the end of my cross-examination. Right?
Yes, understood, my lord.
Now, let us go to the evidence of Zungu, Constable Zungu, who is central to why the accused persons, and in particular accused number 2, is before court.
Yes, my lord, I'm listening.
Now, in the trial, within the trial, you testified that your informant that led you to now focus your investigation was Constable Zungu, right?
I don't think I classified him as an informer, my lord. I referred to the statement of Absalom Zungu, the father, to say he's the one that gave us the statement. I don't think I referred. I remember when I was cross-examined by Mr. Mngomezulu specifically, where he said I relied on informers, and I said no, there was no informers. I relied on the statement by Absalom Zungu.
Engikhulumile lana ke ukuthi ke mina istatement ekwakuyisona ke enganike kusona noma ke esasingihola ke kwakuyistatement sakhe uAbsalom Zungu kwakuyena ubaba.
Brigadier, maybe you will take me to your trial within the trial, whereby you speak about the statement of Absalom Ntantlezi Zungu, because for me, for the first time I hear that you relied on the statement of Absalom Zungu to lead you now to focus on accused 1 and 2. Was now during your testimony in chief.
Yes, absolutely. We can go to the records, yes. and that is why, my lord, I'm specific that this issue was canvassed between myself and Mr. Mngomezulu as to what did I rely on, and Mr. Mngomezulu was leaning towards informers, and we debated on that part to an extent where I said there is a statement in the docket which was taken from Absolute Zungu, and he specifically implicates accused 1 and 2. So that is there. I'm certain of it 100%, my lord.
Lana ke lo daba lolu ke udaba ke ngamkhulumela sana nalo noma ke sewudingida naye uMr Mngomezulu yena ke esho ke ukuthi mina ke ngincikephi ngase ngimtshela ke ukuthi mina ke bakuyi statement sika Absalom Zungu la esifaka khona ke umsola wokuqala kanye nowesibili ngiqinisekile ke ngalokho sikhona ke lapha ya.
And do you know who is the source of Absalom Zungu's information that he provided to you?
Well, my lord, it's clearly depicted in his statement. This is Absalom Zungu, that he witnessed certain discussions, and in those discussions in the homelands, accused 1 and 2 were implicated in this matter, in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. That's what the statement says.
Ingabe uyazi yini ukuthi ke uAbsalom Zungu lolo lwazi ke uluthola kuphi? Kukhona ke lokho kubhaliwe ke kwistatement sakhe ke uMr Absalom Zungu ukuthi ke kwakukhulunywa ke noma zazikhona ke inkulumo ezazikhona emakhaya la ekwakukhulunywa khona ke ngaye umsolo wokuqala nowesibili ngokubandakanyeka kwabo ke kulodaba kaSenzo Meyiwa.
And before we go even any further, is that Absalom Zungu to this day still alive?
Yes, he's still alive. Insofar as I know, he's still alive, my lord.
Ngokwazi kwami ke yebo usaphila ke uAbsalom Zungu.
So in other words, because you say now you relied on Absalom Zungu, but Absalom Zungu was privy to conversation, or was he told by somebody else this information that he then relays to you?
Yes, but like I said, my lord, it's contained in his statement. We can get to it so that we put the correct context of what he says. We have that statement and we've disclosed it to the defense. So we can perhaps go straight to it if we want to put the contents of what he said.
Ukuthi ke yini ayisho ke singaya kusona ke statement sakhe sikhona futhi ke nabameli nabo basinikwa ke leso statement leso.
With what we discussed in the morning regarding admissibility of certain evidence provisionally, I'm going to ask that we focus on that statement of Absalom Zungu and that it be admitted provisionally, because I intend to call him and interrogate him regarding that statement that he made.
Yes, my lord. So should I go to it now?
Let's go there. Do we have it, Brigadier?
I'm checking the index.
Oh, okay.
The statement so which were now also a someday. You remember?
Yes.
I
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
things in my head.
So,
We're now so someday, now stay dead. You can't remember, fine, no problem.
I remember, that's not that statement, my lord.
No, I'm just saying, is that the same statement?
It's not.
Okay, fine.
My
That's
memory,
all.
my lord, is very sharp.
Is that so?
Yes. I've got a sharp memory.
Very sharp.
Very sharp.
Your colleague there is smiling.
He knows, and he's got a sharp memory as well.
Oh,
So I'm getting to it, my lord. I've got it. I just need to get to it. Need to get to it.
so you say you're intending to call
Yes,
Mr. Absalom Zungu,
indeed so, my lord.
okay? And the state doesn't intend calling him.
No, my lord.
Okay, fine, yeah. So in other words, okay, fine.
I've got it. I've got it. So, no, I have it.
Okay.
It's fine. I have it. So should I read it into record?
Yeah,
The entire statement.
Yes, the entire statement, Brigadier, sorry.
All right. So it says, I, the undersigned Absalom Hlehezi Zungu, with ID number. The ID number is mentioned, my lord. I'm an adult male born on 1958 of 2/14, so it's February the 14th, residing. There's an address given, my lord. I am currently unemployed and temporary work at Piet Retief. The address where he's working as well as the cell phone number is mentioned, my lord. Then paragraph 2, in late 2017, I met Mbekiseni Ntanzi, who is my relative from Homelands in Kwanongoma. I met Mbekiseni in Durban at Kwamashu squatter camp. It was during the general discussion between myself and him, whereby he told me something shocking. He said to me there was once a fight or argument between his brother Mafika Ntanzi and another Ntanzi brother in Sisutu homeland in Kwanongoma. I do not recall what was Mafika arguing with his brother, with his elder brother about, according to Mpekiseni. Mpekiseni said after the argument, he was told by the Adantanzi brother that he won't fight with Mafika. Instead, he will rather report him to the police for the murder of a Orlando Pirates goalkeeper called Senzo Meyiwa back in Phosphorus. He further said he was told by the brother of Mafika, not Mpekiseni, that Mafika Ntanzi committed the murder with Muzi Sibia, who is also from Kwanongoma. I further do know that the two mentioned suspects were staying in the hostel in Phosphorus during the time Senzo Meyiwa was killed. I further know that Muzi Sibia had dreadlocks at a certain time but cut them off after the murder of Senzo. Muzi Sibia is currently somewhere in Kwanongoma, and Mafika is currently working at a certain mine in Rustenburg. Paragraph 4. I am aware that the two were also used as hitmen, and their ringleader was one Nkani Zungu of Sisutu area, Kwanongoma. However, he is currently in jail. I have further identified a photograph of Muzi Sibia to the police and attached it together with this statement marked ANZ1. I was not told by Mpekiseni as to why Muzi Sibia and Mafika killed Senzo. After receiving the above information, I decided to tell my son, who is a police officer in Johannesburg, about the above information. His name is Sikumbuzo Zungu. Subsequent to that, I was then informed by Sikumbuzo that we should go meet the police at head office SAPS in Pretoria. Indeed, the police were met and I disposed the above statement to Colonel Geninda, who was with Sergeant Mukhani. I can identify Mafika to the police if I see him, but I do not have his photos. This is all I can say for now. Then paragraph 5, my lord, is the oath, and then it was commissioned by myself on the 17th of November 2019 at 16:25.
The statement yekesakhe u-Absalom Zungu sifundeka ngalendlela uyashoka ukuthi ubani Absalom Mkhahlezi Zungu, uyashoka i-ID number yakhe nokuthi ke uhlala kuphi nokuthi usebenza kuphi. Uthi ke kwakungo-2017 ngahlangana noMbhekiseni Ntanzi oyisihlobo sami ke buya ke emakhaya kwaNongoma. Ngahlangana noMbhekiseni eThekwini noma ke eDurban kwaMashu Sparta Camp noma ke umjondolo wakwaMashu. Wakukhulumisana nje phakathi kwami naye ke la angitshela khona ke okushaqisayo. Wathi kumina ke kwanempi ke noma ke eyayikhona ke phakathi komfowabo uMafika Ntanzi kanye futhi nomunye umfowabo wakwaNtanzi Sisoho Homeland kwaNongoma emakhaya. Angisakhumbuluke angisakhumbuluke ukuthi yini ababeyilwela noma beyixabanela ke uMafika nomfowabo. Ngokusho kwakhe uMbhekiseni washo ke ukuthi emuva kwalokho ke walokuxabana ke kwabakhona watshelwa omunye umfowabo wakwaNtanzi ngeke yena alwe naye uMafika azokwenza ukuthi ahambe ayobika emaphoyiseni ngokubulawa kwanozinti we-Orlando Pirates owayebizwa ngokuthi uSenzo Meyiwa ePhosphorus. Washo ke futhi watshelwa umfowabo kaMafika kungasiyena uMbhekiseni ukuthi uMafika Ntanzi wakwenza lokhu kubulala ekanye naye umuzi Sibia naye ke obuya kwaNongoma. Okunye futhi engikwaziyo ukuthi labasolwa ababili bahlala ehostel eseFossil noma babehlala ehostel eFosloras ngaso leso sikhathi leso sokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa. Okunye futhi engikwaziyo ukuthi umuzi Sibiya wayenama dreadlocks ke ngesikhathi esithize, kodwa ke emuva kokuthi uSenzo eshonile wase ewagunda lawo ma dreadlocks. Umuzi Sibiya kumanje njena ke noma ngaleso sikhathi konjwa kwa statement ke ukwanongoma umafika Ntanzi yena ke usebenza kwimine ethize noma kwimine thizeni eRustenburg. Ngiyazi futhi ukuthi laba ababili ke babesetshenziswa nanjengeinkabi, futhi ke umholi wabo umunye obizwa unkani Zungu waseSosoha noma iSosoha, angiboni kahle la, Sosoha uSososha kwaNongoma, kodwa bekumanje njena usesitokisini noma ke uvalele. Kunesithombe sikamuzi engisitholile noma ke ngasinikeza amaphoyisa sahlanganiswa ke kanye naso lesi statement lesi babe sebesiphawula ke nanjengo ANZ1. Angizange ngitshele uyena umbhekiseni ukuthi kwakungani umuzi Sibiya kanye naye umafika Ntanzi babulale uSenzo. Emuva kokuthi sengitholeke lokhu noma lolwazi noma le information ke ngathatha isinqumo sokuthi ke ngitshele indodana yami eyiphoyisa eGoli mayela nalokhu noma nale information le igama layo uSikhumbuzo Zungu. Emuva kwalokho ngase ngitshelwa uyena ke uSikhumbuzo ukuthi kuzofanele sihambe siyohlangana namaphoyisa ePitoli kumahhovisi amaphoyisa ePitoli. Ngempela amaphoyisa sahlangana nawo, ngase nginikeza ngalesi statement lesi kuKennel uGininda owaye naye uSergeant Mukhane. Ngingamkhomba uma emaphoyiseni uma ngingambona ukuthi nje anginaso isithombe noma izithombe zakhe, yiloko engifisa ukusho.
To be exhibit triple U.
Yeah, okay. The market. What's that place, Sosoba?
I can't make out the handle.
I know a guy called Sosobala.
The traditional healer.
Yes.
S-O-S-O.
The traditional healer, my lord. He was rather.
Oh, so you do go to a traditional?
No, I just know of him, my lord. He was very famous, so
yeah.
I just know of him.
I see Mr. Nisi is surprised. I used to play soccer, so there were guys who come in with magical stories. So Sobala was one of the big guys who would come with stories like he can make a ball vanish.
True.
So Sobala.
My lord, I see it's just approaching 3 o'clock.
Is that so?
Yes.
My lord, I think Advocate Ngumalo will be more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will be more clued up about this, Mr. Sosoban. From the same homeland.
But I thought you are from Peter Marisbeck. Well, I'm saying Ngumalo.
From my homeland.
No,
No.
English?
Yes.
Oh, I'm trying to go Sosobala. Okay, should we adjourn then?
Yes, my lord, I would suggest that we adjourn until tomorrow.
What's the time now?
It's 3 o'clock, my lord.
Should we adjourn? I'm in your hands.
Please, madam. Please.
Brigadier, speak, even you yourself.
Yeah, we can go up to 1:30 if you want us to. Let's go up to 1:30, no problem.
Should we go to... my lord, the suggestion on the left is that we adjourn now.
Aye, let's go up to 1:30.
Let's go to
Then say, we judge here, Kekeliza. Kekeliza, the judge. Hola mahal.
Okay. Now, Brigadier, from the statement that you have read, I pick up early on that you relied on the information that is hearsay to investigate accused number 1 and 2. The deponent says, I had information from a relative of accused number 2 to the following effect that he mentions there. Then I also informed my son, that's another hearsay, and my son says, we need to go and see the police in Pretoria. That is the gist.
That's correct, my lord. But the son was there. He's the one that came to us. This Kumbuzo Zungu is actually Constable Zungu.
Yes.
Lana ke kule statement oqedwe sifunda ke engikutholayo ke nekuzwayo ukuthi ke wena ke wancika kwabathi inzwabathi ngoba ke lana ubaba uZungu uthi watshelwa ke isihlobo ke ukuthi kwenzeke lokhu kwase futhi enye inzwabathi futhi ukuthi ke manje useyotshela indodana yakhe. Yebo kuyiqiniso ke indodana yakhe iyona eyeza kuthina futhi ke loyo uConstable Zungu.
An effort, my lord, was made to find the person who told the father, to collaborate that. And the person was found, but he was scared and fearful of the reprisal, because this was a family. These are relatives. So there was a standoff, my lord, in terms of that person giving a statement to collaborate that assertion, my lord, which was not unusual, my lord, because court will remember that when I testify in evidence in chief, Constable Zungu, when he came to bring this information first, to say this is what he heard from his father, it was way earlier in the year. And then we made an agreement that he must get his father so that the father can actually be the one coming to tell me this information. He found him months later, I think it's 6 months or so odd, when he was then, where we eventually made an arrangement to meet. We were first supposed to meet on the 12th of November. We shifted it in 2019 to the 13th of November. From our side with Brigadier Perumal, and subsequently when we met on the 13th of November, he then said he was able to convince his father to come through, and that's how now on the 17th of November we met for the statement. So, but there was difficulty in getting them to come forth in fearful of reprisal. They made it clear that our life will be in danger. That was the case from this person mentioned, but he did confirm that yes, I did tell my brother, but I'm not going to make a statement.
Okwenzeka ke ukuthi yebo ke sakwenza ke noma sazama ke ukuthi sitholeke umuntu lo okuyena ke owatshela uMr Zungu, kodwa ke uma siya kuyena ke washo nje wathi cha mina ke angiyimisele nje nhlobo ukuthi ke ngenze istatement ngiyesaba ke noma ngisabisela ke impilo yami udaba ke lana sikhuluma ke ngabantu bomndeni, kodwa ke wakusho ke ukuthi yebo ngamtshela ke uZungu kodwa ke angeke ngisenze ke istatement. Futhi ke uZungu weza kuthina noma weza kumina ke ngase ngithi ke kena kakeze nobaba wakhe azoqinisekisa ke lokho akushoyo ke, kodwa ke kwathatha inyanga ukuthi eze wakufanele sihlangane nge-12 kaNovember sihlangananga kanye naye uPeruman nange-13, kodwa ke gcine sasiyohlangana ngazo ke i-17 zikaNovember.
And that also, my lord, to put this into proper context, because it affects Zungu, and that is why if one looks at Constable Zungu's statement, it was only taken while this trial actually was in progress. Was it? Yeah, I think it was taken sometime last year, Constable Zungu's statement. And the reason for that, my lord, is that as I was investigating, this is now after having sight of accused 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5, as we were busy obtaining statements from witnesses, it became apparently clear in terms of the statements that were obtained that on the day of the incident, this is now the 26th of October 2014, at the hostel where the planning took place, Constable Zungu was there, but not as part of the planning, as the people who were there for the traditional dance music. So I think I recall 2 statements where his name kept on coming up to say he was there, being mentioned by witnesses. Kwabeni is one of those people. I think Makosenko also mentions him. There's a couple of statements that we obtained, my lord. And it was during that time when I went back to him to say, but your name is being mentioned, what happened? And then he opened up also to say, fearful of being assassinated due to the proximity of the accused, he wanted us to do the investigation, but he opened up, my lord, and said, look, I'll tell you what I know, but there was fear and concern that he might be killed.
Futhi ke masiza nakuyena ke uZungu uma ubheka ke istatement sakhe ukuthi sathathwa nini ke kwakunyaka ondluleke icala leli seqhubeka ke, futhi ke uma noma ke ngenza ke uphenyo sebetholakele ke umsolwa wokuqala, owesibili, owesithathu, owesine nowesihlanu ila khona-ke manje ngithatha iy'tatimende ngicabanga ukuthi uMakhosonke naye uGwabeni igama likaZungu balisho njalo ila sengibuyela kuyena-ke manje ngithi nanjengomuntu owayekhona-ke lapho ukuthi hhayi ukuthi wayekhona-ke ukuthi kuhlelwe lokhu kodwa-ke ngoba-ke kwakukhona-ke babehlangene ngakho ingoma-ke lapho kodwa-ke ngase ngibuyela kuyena ngithi igama lakho liyavela-ke yila angitshela khona-ke ukuthi esabela impilo yakhe kodwa egcineni-ke wathi uzongitshela.
And throughout Zungu's testimony, and by Zungu I refer to Constable Zungu, he never indicated that his father was the source of the information that he now came and testified about in this court.
My Lord, firstly, I was not, obviously the difficulties is, I don't know how the context was put when Constable Zungu was testifying. But these are two different reports. The father was telling me about what he witnessed with his relative in KZN, not that he had a direct engagement with the accused. It was a hearsay, as Mr. Ramsipil has correctly put it, from a brother, his relative, in trying to manage the dispute in the homeland. So he only made the assertion insofar as that is concerned. Zungu involvement is insofar as what took place at the hostel where the planning was done when he was present. So those when he was present, and when I confronted him with his name coming up, my Lord, as I said, when I said, but why? Because I confronted him, why didn't you bring this information to me from the beginning? The indication or the response was that he was scared. He wanted justice to be done. Hence is the one that came forward on his own, my Lord, because he came on his own right from the beginning to the office of the National Commission, where I was informed there's a person who has information about the death of Senzo. That came from him in the beginning, but then he introduced the father and kept himself away. But when he was confronted, my Lord, he opened up and told the truth. And I may add lastly, my Lord, that in matters of this nature, especially when it is alleged that hitmen are involved, it's not an easy thing to get people to cooperate because they know the consequences should they be exposed, my Lord.